5-3 Phillies, 7 more to go. As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Pitalico, Ben Davis, Ruben Amaro Jr. will go across the street. We'll hear from Rob Thompson and all the players who helped the Phillies win this one 5-3, guys. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't as easy as you looked. If you didn't know how this thing played out, Phillies score runs in 4 of the first 5 innings, 2 in the first inning, 2 home runs by Harper and Schwarber. Leads off the game on the first pitch with a home run. And then we kind of nail-bited a little bit, Ricky Bo.
Oh, you got off to a 5-0 lead. I think everybody felt pretty comfortable. Wheeler went back out for, I believe it was the 6th inning. Struggled a little bit in that inning. Ended up giving up a 2-home run. Ben to who?
Geraldo Perdomo.
Yeah. Perdomo hits one out the right. Nonetheless, the bullpen came in and did a nice job. I guess that's the bottom line. They got out of a couple of jams there later on in the ball game. You saw even in the 9th inning a walk, a little help from the umpire, and then a double play. Things are perfect right now. You're up 1-0. Regardless of how you want to spin this, put it. Wheeler, I thought, pitched extremely well. The Phillies got off to a quick start.
Here's the other thing. The Phillies have won their last 7 game ones, and in their history, when they lose a game one, they're 0-3 in the series. That's not a good thing. So this was very important to get, and Arizona's not going away, are they?
No, they're not going away because they're a talented baseball club. And you saw tonight that they don't give up. They're much like the Phillies in that aspect, and they don't give up. I give credit to Zack Wheeler. He gave up 3 homers tonight, and later on in the ball game was able to stay in there, give the Diamondbacks. I know they were just solo homers, but some of the Phillies swung the bats a little bit better today. Obviously, Kyle Schwarber was a lot better. Bryce Harper, why they pitched this, we'll get into that. Why they continue to pitch to him is beyond me, but thank you for doing so. Castellanos stays hot. It was just a good ball game offensively. They could have been a little bit better with runners in scoring position, just 2 for 10. They did leave, 7 guys on base, so they need to clean that up a little bit. But the bullpen came in and did their job for the most part. Good ball game.
Yeah, RAJR. What'd you think of Zack Wheeler tonight?
Zack was tremendous, and just a whole lot of life on that fastball, and it was a typical Zack. It's almost like this is exactly what you expect from the guy. Just a super job. I was a little surprised he came out early. Came out after the 6th. He had given up a couple of runs, gave up the home run to Perdomo, and then for me, I just felt like he had another inning in him. Only had about 81 pitches or so. But this is the formula that Topper's been going to. I am a little concerned right now as to who they're going to be utilizing as the right-handed setup guy. Right now, Sir Anthony Dominguez doesn't look like he's all that confident. Jeff Hoffman struggled his last time out. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that. But the formula worked. Alvarado came in, shut it down, and then Kimbrel did his job. So nice ball game, and the guys are swinging the bats well.
A little tiptoeing through, I would call that, especially later on in the ball game. I wasn't surprised he took Wheeler out. I wasn't surprised at that point. If you think about it, in the 5th inning, he was absolutely lights out. 6th inning, started getting hit harder. So what do you do from there if you're Topper? You know you haven't used these guys in a while. Why not?
Yeah, and let them do their thing.
I didn't have a problem either way. If he would have gone out there, I'm sure Wheeler probably could have given you another scoreless inning and gotten you through 7 innings, and you would have been happy with that also. But it was only 1 inning was going to be the difference, one way or the other.
81 pitches for Zack Wheeler. By the way, Schwarber hits a home run. Harper hits a home run. Nick Castellanos hits a home run early. Easy for you to say. Hits a home run early. I'm thinking he's going to go 3 straight games with multiple home runs. He only had the 1. Here he is with John Clark postgame.
All right, we are here with Nick Castellanos, and when you see Kyle Schwarber do what he does, Bryce Harper, does that really get the adrenaline going in there?
I mean, it starts the game on the right note for sure.
How about your at bat? Did you think you could possibly get another first pitch fastball?
I wasn't really thinking about anything, man.
So your mentality with that 3rd pitch there, you expecting it there?
No, I was just looking for a pitch and take a good swing.
So you have said before you're even more focused in the postseason, and you love the postseason. Why do you think you thrive in the most pressurized moments?
I mean, he could take this camera and just show around the stadium. I think that answered the question.
Explain your comfort level right now these last 3 games. Only Reggie Jackson has had as many homers as you have over a 3-game span.
I mean, look, like, do I feel good? Yes. To say that I don't, I'd be lying. But by no means do I feel comfortable in any regard, man. We got 7 more wins.
When you guys come out and win Game 1, each of these 7 playoff series this last 2 years, what's the mentality going into these first games of series?
I mean, we're just ready at the gate, that's for sure. Everybody that's, on this team knows what's at stake, and we don't want to come out flat-footed.
Final question for you. America loves seeing Liam on camera celebrating your home runs. How special is it to have him here, and how much does that add to your comfort level?
Does it add to my comfort level? Sure. Only because, what's more comfortable than being with your family? And what was the first part of the question?
First part was just how special it is to have him here and see Dad do so well.
I mean, I've said it a bunch of times, man. Like, these are memories that he's making. These are, selfishly me too. But just for him to be next to me here and be able to feel this, and I think above all to know that things like this are possible, man.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nick Castellanos with his personal interviewer, John Clark. No one interviews Nick Castellanos like John Clark. No one can get the depth, the pearls, and I'll tell you, he stays with it. He stays with it.
Does.
And that's why we love Johnny C on Nick C. And he said, here's the killer. Do I feel good? Yes. I'm not going to lie. Straight face. Do I feel good? Yes. Really? I couldn't tell. But I'll tell you what, each interview is just better and better. I think they're going to take that act on the road.
It's must-see TV.
The 2 of them. I needed to ask the 3 of you something about you. You brought up something that caught my eye, which was the way Rob Thompson, Ruben, managing, and Ben and Ricky manages that pitching staff. Are we seeing a sea change, perhaps, in baseball? Like, the minute you fall off, you're gone. I want the bullpen in. I'll figure out the rest later in the week.
You see it. You tell me.
Well, I think so. Look, you got a guy like Zack Wheeler.
I'm kidding.
Comes in with barely a 2 ERA. It's now a 2.37, which is also pretty darn good. He gives up what, a couple of shots, a couple earned runs.
It wasn't that. He gave up a couple runs. He got hit harder in that inning than he had been all game long. I just think that was the eye test. I think he failed the eye test a little bit in the 6th inning for Rob Thompson. And Rob Thompson went and got him. I have no problem with that. No problem whatsoever. I mean, it didn't cost you anything except for it gives Wheeler a little bit more rest now going into his next start.
Which is exactly the point. So does Wheeler not have to worry about stamina and going 7 or even 8 innings because he's just throwing as hard as he can for as long as he can, and he'll still be ready in 5 days time?
Yeah, I don't know about that, Michael. I think he went out and just pitched his game. And he's not worrying about his next start. That's something that Zack Wheeler and pretty much this entire ball club is good at, is not worrying about tomorrow or the next day. They worry about what's at stake right now, every pitch in each ball game. So I wouldn't say it would change the way he pitches at all necessarily, but I agree with Ricky. I think it was time to get him out of there. He didn't have that finish on his fastball, which was absolutely dominant tonight. He threw that, 56% of the time tonight, a 4-seamer. That's incredible. And the Diamondbacks knew that's how they were going to attack them, but they just couldn't do anything about it. And it was time to do it. They had a very well-rested bullpen. They hadn't pitched in 3 days. So, yeah, let them take the ball.
Yeah, and I wasn't talking about Wheeler himself. I was talking about how Thompson approaches it. Let the guy throw his heart out and then take him out when he's kind of on the downside of a performance, and then he'll still pitch well the next time.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I think that Thompson has done over the course of his career since he became the manager last year in June or whatever it was, he has put guys in positions that he believes they will be successful, and he's had a heck of a run at it. That's one of the reasons why he ran out there to Sir Anthony, because Sir Anthony looked a little jittery, wasn't throwing strikes, threw the ball away, and he went out there himself and said, "Hey, listen, I believe in you. I want you to get the job done." And then obviously he had to get Alvarado ready and get him going because he was struggling, but. I mean, he believes in certain pockets where certain guys line up well in different positions during the course of the lineup. Obviously, he wants to use Alvarado and Kimbrel later on, typically. He may not do that if their game is in hand. He may utilize those guys a little bit earlier to try to get the win, to get the stop of the inning, and then worry about the rest of the innings later on and just kind of piece it together.
31. He's holding up 31 years old today for Bryce Harper. Most postseason home runs in Phillies franchise history. Jason Worth with 11 and Bryce Harper with 10. And by the end of this postseason, Bryce Harper will be in first place. So
10 in 24 games. Come on. That's ridiculous. Much like what Castellanos is doing right now. 10 home runs in 24 games against the best pitching in all of baseball.
How many's Casty at? He's going to be on that.
5.
He'll be on that list tomorrow.
But how about this? Look at Kyle Schwarber at 7. If Schwarber heats up for some reason, he's only 3 behind Harper. If they get to the World Series, which there's a long way to go before that happens, there's plenty of time for both of those guys to be at the top of that list.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Together. It's absolutely amazing. But the only thing, when you wonder whether or not they've got enough to take on this Diamondbacks team, they were not scared, Arizona. They were determined. They fell short in their effort to come back. And we'll talk plenty of time about Aaron Nola and tomorrow going to the mound. But they're going to have a challenge, the Phillies, even if they do win in 5 games, as the two of you predicted, or 6 games as we thought.
Yeah.
They're going to earn it.
Well, they didn't quit. I mean, that's the one thing that you could say for them. They came out, they fought all the way through this game. They didn't quit for 9 innings, and they very well could have. When it was 5-0 Phillies, and Phillies were playing a wiffle ball game in your backyard, and you're just sitting there watching. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't fun for the Diamondbacks, but they didn't quit. They got 3 runs, and they came within 1 swing of tying the game 3 separate times.
Mm-hmm. When you look at Sir Anthony Dominguez, and he ended up getting out of there after just 2/3 of an inning, concerned about where he is with his repertoire?
I'm a little concerned with, I think it's more so of a mentality than it is stuff-wise, because he's got the stuff. You can see he's got flat out the stuff. But I just think he went out there, he was a little tentative tonight, and we saw it, obviously, walking the leadoff batter when he came into the ballgame. That's the last thing you want to do as a reliever.
And then that throw to second.
Yeah, and then the throw to second base. So self-inflicted wound there. And then Rob Thompson went out there and just tried to right the ship and just say, hey, man, relax. I know it's easier said than done, and there's a lot of people over there that are going ballistic. But he should trust his stuff a little bit more, because it is really good. And I say this all the time. Those guys should set the pitching machine at 98 miles an hour and have these guys sit in the batter's box and watch these pitches come in and realize, oh my gosh, I can't even see the ball. I don't have to be so perfect with everything. I can just throw it and let my good natural movement take over. They try to be so fine. That's when they start missing.
And I could talk about that, because as a pitcher, I threw hard. I never knew what my pitches looked like. You never realized, you knew you threw hard. You knew you let the ball go and you could hear the glove pop when you were throwing hard. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I wonder what it looks like. And I'll never forget, remember Russ Springer?
Sure do.
We got this guy, Russ Springer, came over here, and he threw in the bullpen. I remember seeing him pow, and I went, man, you seeing this guy throw? And whoever, I think it was Toby Boylan, looked at me and goes, man, you should see you throw. And I'm like, and it kind of puts into perspective what Ben was saying. You go up there and, you don't realize it as a pitcher what your pitches actually look like. That's probably the toughest part. But, there are some guys that could figure out what they look like. I guess if you look at somebody that's equivalent to you and go stand up there, I think it helps you out.
And it's just like anything else. I think it's a confidence thing. Once you have a couple of decent outings or make a couple of good quality pitches and get some big outs, then, when you get on the mound, you feel really much better about yourself. Same thing, same way as a hitter. If you've been struggling, that's, you feel a little, you don't feel all that confident. The bat feels a little heavier. You feel like you have to jump out there. And it's just a totally different mentality. Hopefully, they can get Sir Anthony and Hoffman and those guys back to where they need to be.
Something shell-shocked Sir Anthony this year. That's what happened, because it looks like he doesn't even want to throw the ball over the plate.
Let's go to Rob.
You want to go to Rob now?
Yeah, well, people want to hear from the skipper, see what his thoughts are on this game one. That's okay. We'll talk more later. Rob Thompson, postgame.
Rob, Tori was just in here and thought you guys kind of ambushed Zack in the first couple of innings. Was the plan to go after him early in the count?
Well, he's a strike thrower, so... Yeah, being aggressive against him is kind of the plan, but I thought we had good at bats against him. I think that I've seen Zack Gallen better than that, if you will. But he's still a good pitcher. But I thought we had good at bats against him.
Marcus.
Since Game 2 of the NLDS, you look at your payroll and you look at the production, and every guy making a lot of money is going to be doing a lot of production. What is it like to be at the helm of that kind of ship and see those guys producing, to their baseball cards and their paychecks? Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Our guys have really played well, and we're getting great at bats from Castellanos, the entire Casty and Harper, the entire playoffs, and it was nice to see Schwarber break out today. Trea's been swinging the bat great, so yeah, I mean, that's what they get paid to do. And Zack was great.
Paul on the left side.
Along those lines, Wheeler at this point starting to pile up quite a few postseason starts here. 9 starts. He's got the best whip in playoff history. I mean, just what he's given you in these big games. What can you say about him?
Yeah, he steps up. His stuff was really good tonight, especially early in the game. I thought he started losing a little bit in the 5th and 6th inning, but he was dynamite early. It's command, it's stuff, it's power, it's competitive nature, it's everything. He's complete.
GP.
Rob, with the work that Castellanos has done with Kevin Long during the course of the year to really stay on time and true to that ball to right field, how do you see his mechanics come together on a swing like the one that he had tonight?
Yeah, it's just keeping his head still and staying behind the baseball and letting it travel. And when he's good, when he's really good, he's driving the ball to right center field. And that's what he did tonight. And every once in a while, he'll clip something out front and pull it like he has the last couple of nights. So he's on a tear right now. I just knock on wood, he keeps going.
On the left side on the aisle.
Schwarber seems like a guy that takes his job very seriously. Just always locked in, even coming off that series that he had, against the Braves. What do you see out of him, and what kind of tone does he set at the top of that lineup? And do you ever have any doubt that he's going to bust out?
I never have any doubt with him. I have so much trust in him and all of our guys, really. But that's what he does at the start of the game is he can put the other team on their heels a little bit and get the lead. And we added on tonight, which was good, and we weathered the storm because this club over here, the Diamondbacks, they're not going to quit. They keep fighting. They compete. They're a lot like us in that way, and you just got to stay after them.
Standing up on the left.
Rob Alvarado doesn't have a lot of up-downs during the year where he comes back out, and then against Atlanta, he doesn't finish the second inning when he comes back. Tonight, obviously, was able to do it. What did you see different there to be able to get through?
Throwing strikes.
Yeah.
The last game against Atlanta, he walked a couple guys in the last inning. So, he finished it up. He was throwing strikes. The cutter was good. The velocity was good. And again, that was, I don't know whether it was the first time all year we did an up-down with him, but it's the first time in a long time the other night against Atlanta. So maybe he settled into that a little bit.
Marcus.
Rob, I had my head down, but I thought I saw you make a visit to you made a visit to Sir Anthony when he was out there. Why did you go, and what did you say?
It was, he had walked the leadoff hitter, and then he got a comebacker, and that was the throwing error. And I just wanted to slow everything down for a minute, make sure that he understood that he's got to get after it, and we have all the confidence in the world in him. We're going to get a double play here. We almost did. It was a line drive, but we almost did. But I just want to make sure that, just give him some time to get settled in.
We'll take one last one in the middle.
Is it important to get a big lead or to get a lead early against a team coming in here game 1 at home? I mean, does that change the complexion when you kind of jump out early?
I think it does. I mean, everything's about momentum this time of year, and Arizona's really good at creating momentum and then keeping it. So that's one of the things we need to do is get momentum, keep it, don't let them back in the game.
All right, thanks, Rob. We'll see you tomorrow.
Rob Thompson's media availability of pitcher Zack Gallen. He says he is a strike thrower. Being aggressive against him is kind of the plan. I have seen Zack Gallen better than that, if you will. He's still a good pitcher, but I thought we had good at-bats against him. Agree?
I do agree, and mind you, they hit some balls hard that were not hits in this ball game as well. One inning, I remember Stott lined out to left field, Bohm lined out to third base, JT smoked the ball up the middle for an RBI single. So there were some outs that were very loud against Zack Gallen tonight. He did not have his best stuff. If they do face him again in this series, I think the Phillies definitely should look for all-speed pitches. Curveball was okay tonight. Got some swings and misses with that, but I would definitely look for more sliders and changeups against him because I think that's how he's going to be able to attack the Phillies because they did a lot of good damage with that fastball tonight from Zack Gallen.
That fastball was pretty flat.
It was.
It didn't have a lot of movement, no side-to-side movement, no sink on it. It was just a four-seamer straight at him. And, I mean, big league hitters, you guys, Ruben, you'd be able to hit that.
No, now, don't go crazy.
Come on. That's going a little too far. Trea Turner in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I wish we could have added a few more, make it a little bit more out of hand than it was. We knew they were going to battle back. They're a scrappy team. They put good at-bats together, so kind of expected it, but played well enough to get the win. That's all that matters. So, yeah, I think more of that tomorrow and keep tacking on those runs.
Was the approach was it focused to be as aggressive as you could against Gallen early?
No. No, just looking for good pitches to hit. Sometimes they're the first pitch, and Kyle's done that throughout the season. All of us, have been aggressive times. We're ready to hit. So you don't know, when it's going to be or what it's going to be, but we're ready to hit.
What's that like on deck, first pitch of the game, and watching Kyle hit one?
Love it. Up 1-0. Just get that momentum going. With the fans and. Just how much pressure they can put on the opposing team. I think 1-0 is big, and then just to have those at bats we did in the first inning, I think kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. So it was a lot of fun.
Bryce follows that up on his birthday with his little blowing out his finger celebration. What's the reaction like with the guys?
Oh, that's what that was. I was like, I thought it was hot. I mean, he's in the ball. So,
3-1.
Yeah, no, I didn't put that together. He's got 4 homers. I thought he was I don't know. He's got 4 homers this postseason. But yeah, the guy's on fire. So, hopefully, more of that. He's been awesome. It's pretty cool. To play on your birthday when your birthday's this late, I think that's a big deal. So, pretty special moment.
And then to have Casty hitting the way he is in the bottom third of the order, like what kind of balance does that give you guys?
Yeah, I think we talked about that at the beginning of the year. Somebody was going to have to hit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we knew that we were going to have a really deep lineup, and it's showing big time right now, and he's been unreal too. So. Guys are swinging the bat good. We feel good. We're competing, having fun, and it's been fun. It's been awesome. Those guys have been great.
We know how important Game 1 is, jump out. And now, following that up, how important is Game 2 to not let off the gas?
Yeah, I mean, whatever's in front of you. We've been taking it one game at a time, and we're focusing on tomorrow. We got the job done today. Enjoy it, obviously, and then get ready to do it all again tomorrow. So we don't look too far ahead or too far behind. We're kind of in the present, and I think that's the cool thing about this team.
Well, with that, what
Well, I guess he does if he wants.
What a nice birthday, huh?
It would be the best. Are you kidding me?
Doesn't get any better.
If he did that on my birthday, I would be celebrating.
I mean, was there any doubt he wasn't going to go deep on his birthday?
No.
I mean, seriously.
No, I was thinking about that exact same thing as he stepped to the plate. I'm thinking, there's no way this is not happening. At some point tonight, he's going to hit a home run. Bryce Harper on his birthday.
Gallen had mentioned how aggressive they were in their approach to him. Was that the focus, to trying to be aggressive early against a guy like Gallen?
Yeah, man. Zach is really good, man. He goes out there and, like I said before the game, he relies on everything. Like, he just doesn't have just one good pitch. He's got 4 good pitches. So I think just as a whole, we just didn't want to miss pitches over the plate. And we were able to do that and do some damage. It wasn't thinking about, hey, one pitch or not another pitch and just try to sit on this or sit on that. It was just trying to don't miss the ones over the plate, because when you get in deep into counts against him, he's really tough to hit. And I thought we just did a great job of really starting it off and Schwarber, big swing right there, kind of get the crowd going and get us into it and get the vibe going. So just thought that was really good.
Paul on the left.
Bryce, as for the others, Zack Wheeler's starting to put up numbers that stack up with some of the postseason greats. Just what have you seen from these last 2 years, and what's it like watching him do this on this stage?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, he's so much fun to watch. I mean, just the way he kind of prepares and the way he goes about it on his start days, and he's such a good person and good teammate as well. And he just works, man. He works hard, and he understands what he needs to do. He pitches to his strengths, and I really enjoy having him as a teammate. And every fifth day, we have a chance to win. And whenever you're able to do that in the postseason, it's huge. I mean, like I said the other day, ace one and ace two, just because of the way that both of them kind of throw, the way they go about it. It's a pretty similar approach of how they act in the clubhouse before games and what they do, and it's really cool to see it working out for Wills, and it just doesn't surprise me either.
JP on the left.
Congratulations on your birthday. Well celebrated, Bryce. Did you tell anybody before the game that the plan was swing at the first pitch you saw, hit a homer, and then watch the place go crazy for you?
Nah, I mean, it's I'm just very thankful to play this game. I'm very thankful to be able to, be in that spot, in that situation, and it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Being 1-0 in a series is huge, and we got a big one tomorrow as well. And that's a good team over there, man. They're not going to lay down, and thought they fought, and thought we battled as well. So I thought it was a good game one, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Anthony.
You did mention post-game that or pre-game that you had always wanted to play on your birthday. Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, after the game, I was pumped, man. Just being 1-0, that's all I care. Good opportunity to hit a homer, that was great. But at the end of the day, if I hit a homer and we don't win, there's nothing else. So, just very excited that we're 1-0, and looking forward to tomorrow.
How did you come up with the candle celebration?
I don't know. It's crazy. Sometimes I just do stuff, and that felt right. So I thought I'd step on home plate and do that. But I just thought about it as I was running around third base. That I'd do it.
On the left side, middle aisle.
Schwarber, one of those guys where you just kind of always assume the breakout's going to come. Scuffled a little bit last year in the first couple of rounds. This year, first couple of rounds, but it just seems like there's always that moment.
Yeah. Schwarber, we kind of know what we're going to get out of him. We know what type of leader he's going to be, what type of person he's going to be every day. You couldn't tell if he was over 4 for 4 in any spot or any moment. We know he's going to break out. We know what type of player he is, and he's came through clutch for us a lot, this year and then last year as well. And we're going to expect him to do the same, throughout this postseason.
Down here in the front on the left side.
Bryce, this team came in off of a 3-game sweep with the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're the 6th seed and all that. How important was it for you guys to get off to this good start, because they were coming in hot?
Yeah, it's a good team. We said it before, and pre-game and stuff like that, we've talked about it. That's a really good team over there. They're when you get into the postseason, everything starts over. It doesn't matter if you're a wild card team or if you're this, that, or the other. Anybody can win, and that's the great thing about baseball, and it's the great thing about our sport that we play. Anything can happen in any spot. So we just got to keep playing our game, worried about us, and understand they're not going to lay down. They're not going to do anything different. They're going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks like they have been all year, and we just got to play our game and understand that.
JP?
I know you love studying the game, Bryce, and when you see Nick really evolve during the course of the season and certainly the last week or so, what do you see in his swing that stands out when he hits the ball with that kind of authority to right field?
Yeah, it's super impressive. Anytime you can go to all fields like he is, it's huge for us as a lineup. It makes our lineup so deep, especially him in that 7-hole or 8-hole. It just gives him a good opportunity to have success. Whenever he's staying on the baseball, driving the ball to right center, and then hitting the curveball or hitting the heater to left. It's just that's how Nicky is too. Like, we all know what we're going to get out of him as well, and I've seen it since we were 15, 16, 17 years old. He's came through in so many big spots, and we played in the JOs together, out in Venezuela, and it was the same thing. And it's just big moments, big spots. He's always came through, and you can see that now.
Thanks a lot, Bryce. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Joe.
Bryce Harper, what a night. Let's go to Tom McCarthy outside the Phillies clubhouse. Tommy, what's your biggest takeaway from this game tonight? When you think about, you close your eyes, you think about the game, what hits you most?
Well, first and foremost, it was Zack and the way he was able to command the strike zone. I know the offense was the big story tonight, but I really thought he commanded it. I didn't think his fastball was as crisp as it was in his previous outings, but I thought that his domination of the strike zone was as good as we have seen. You know, there was some sweepers that he pulled. There were some other breaking pitches that he was able to get to the outside part of the plate, but I thought a sinker in and even the four-seamer in to the right-handed hitters was really good. So that's the first thing. And then the sound of the ball off the bat of Kyle Schwarber to start this game, that's something, if you close your eyes and think about it, it's pretty remarkable that he's able to do that. I mean, he had 12 first-pitch home runs during the regular season, and now he's got 4 leadoff home runs in his career in the postseason. I mean, it just changes the whole tenor of a ball game when he's able to do something like that.
How big was it for the Phillies to jump out to a fast start in this one? I mean, they scored 4 runs in the first 3 innings. I mean, that's everything for this ball club, wasn't it?
I think so, Ricky. I think that every once in a while when you begin a series, there's always that sort of seed of doubt that's planted. And can you continue to do what you're doing or what you have done? And when you're able to jump out to that kind of a lead, I think it's a huge deal, particularly in this ballpark when you bring the crowd into it the way they brought the crowd into it. So, you know, and when you have your number one guy on the mound, he can sort of front run a little bit, which he did. I mean, this is a Diamondbacks team, though, they're gritty. I mean, they fought back. I mean, they made this a contest, but to get out to that lead, I think was huge for the Phillies tonight.
Tom, I don't want to call out anybody in particular, but can you, in your right mind, think of any reason they pitched to Bryce Harper in the 3rd inning with a runner on second base? What do you think is the thought process there? I don't understand how he just wasn't issued a free pass.
Yeah, I don't know, quite honestly, Ben. I mean, that's something that we were all sort of debating as well. It was actually very surprising when there was that opportunity to not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was. I will say that there's the competitor part of it. I think that may be part of it, but the realistic part is that he was swinging the bat pretty good, and obviously you saw that in his first at bat. So I don't know. I was really surprised myself.
T-Mac, talk a little bit about the masterful job that Rob Thompson's been doing with this bullpen and just maneuvering through it.
Well, I mean, obviously it's a different personality, Ruben, than it was during the regular season. You know, the fact that he had Jeff Hoffman up in the 6th inning of tonight's ball game to quash any kind of momentum. That's what he wants to do. He wants to make sure that if there's a problem with the starter, and not that there was a problem, but if there is a problem with the starter, that he wants to squash the momentum, and that's why he did that. I think it's great. I mean, I don't think he has any rules right now. I think his rule is to keep the lead and to stop anything from snowballing, and that's what he's doing. I mean, that's why Jose was in for, you know, the time that he was, and I think he carried over because he learned his lesson in the previous series that he took him out and let somebody else start, and he actually said to us the next day, I probably should have left Jose in there, which is what he did in tonight's ball game, and he was able to carry through.
Tommy, last question, and Ben said he didn't want to call anybody out, nor do I, but I will point out that Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott are combined 0 for 6 tonight, and they're batting 4th and 5th in the lineup. They're struggling in the postseason by their average. Anything that you think Topper might consider doing with those spots in the lineup?
Really good question, Michael. As long as they keep winning, I don't think there will be anything. I think if there was a problem tonight, then I think you might have seen a change tomorrow. Now, they have talked about it, so it's been open. He's been out there saying that they have discussed making some switches, but I still think the structure of this lineup, the way it is, he likes it. Now, it doesn't mean he can't change it or won't change it, but I do think if they keep on winning, I think they'll keep it the way it is with the hopes that those guys will get out of whatever funk they're in.
Tommy, thank you. Always appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow pregame.